Some days we get to nail the bear. Other days the bear gets to nail everyone he can find or she can find in their paths, right?
Right.
Welcome to Hump Day, the 17th of December, fast approaching the end of this year, just 2 weeks away. A week from today, you can run from store to store trying to find something for those on your shopping list to make sure they have a gift on Christmas morning. Good morning, I'm Rayford Brown. Welcome to Live and Local Real Talk, your source for smart aleck remarks about anything we find
Oh,
worthy.
we can do that.
Yeah, we can.
Good morning, I'm
We-
Chris Marks. Ditto.
Good morning. I'm Lee Barrels, and I have opinions. just got off a rant about something else before we went on air.
she.
I'll be making some phone calls
She said,
today,
just you wait till we get off the air.
Yeah.
Oh.
and I'm not going local.
Why don't you make the phone calls now while we're on the? Oh, they're not away.
They're not even in their office yet.
They
I'd
haven't
wait
had
till
their
about-
first cup of coffee from
9
yesterday.
o'clock.
Yeah, yeah, they're a day behind.
Yeah, but
And
there's
so
no
is-
excuse.
And so is your mail. Not to mention saying anything. Where's that hand grenade?
Should I explain, Ray? For
No,
2
not yet.
days.
Let them worry about it. Let them worry
Nobody
about
on
it.
the
We'll talk
street.
about it later.
Oh yeah, well, we're going to talk about it later today with the district manager.
You know what? Matters not at all what you think you got away with. Some big stuff maybe a long time ago. Stuff that might not have been considered as heinous back then as it is today. I mean, times have changed. We consider a lot of different things a little more serious today. We consider some things like murder and rape and that kind of stuff. We don't consider it nearly as heinous as it used to be. Many years back, the victims, even the families of victims of child sex crimes for infants' interests, wanted to remain in the shadows and deal with the stress with little or no help. Not a lot was provided to victims in those days. One man in Bertie County has been arrested for what his victim went through 30 years ago. 77-year-old James Watford of Powellville has been indicted and is awaiting trial on charges that include 2 counts of felony statutory sex offense of a 13 to 15-year-old child, 2 counts of first-degree kidnapping, and 4 counts of indecent liberties with a child. Now, you ready for my punchline? Until just recently, quit typing, you're going to screw up. Watford was the pastor at the new Roundtree Temple Church of God in Christ. He has recently resigned.
I would hope so.
77 years old now. 35 years ago, he would have been, 35?
42.
42. Investigators are not revealing a lot of details about the case, not just yet. In such cases, it's not unusual for other victims, once they hear about it, to come forward. Once they see that they've been taken seriously. Watford was arrested in jail without bond yesterday. He has a court appearance later this morning.
Good luck with that.
So,
Oh, my.
so he's 77, 3 years before it goes to trial. That makes him 80.
How do you know he's too old for that?
Be dead.
Yeah.
Too old for it. I'll be like, what in the
And
world?
just you pray for the victims.
Yes.
Yes, that's all you can do.
And but think about for 42 years, is that what we said? 42 years now, there's at least one person out there who has suffered, mostly by, I'm going to assume here, herself. It's not necessarily the case, as we know. But this person who is between 13 and 15 years of age, the way the story was written, I'm thinking that there's more than one person, and they ranged in age from 13 to 15 because they got for multiple counts here. Same charge, multiple counts. Of course, that could be the same thing too. Imagine how much of a person's life 42 years has been screwed up. Now, the person's probably going to be in the 50s to 60-year-old age range, right?
Right.
Close, yeah. That's
How much time on earth, how much life has this person missed?
half, basically.
Yeah. 42 years worth. even if you think you're the only victim of some of these predators like this, you probably are not. There's a good chance more than one. It could be a relative out there, you know. I don't want to point any fingers at anyone or groups in particular, but you got all sorts of relatives that show up once a year or twice a year, or may show up on a regular basis. It could be a babysitter.
Yeah.
Male or female.
Wow.
You probably want to notify someone. If you choose not to notify anybody that's going to look out at this person for criminal reasons, I want you to consider one thing. How many more of you are like it? Like that? Just how many more just like you are out there with this same predator? Could be a lot. You don't know. And if this predator is still doing business as usual, how many more could you save?
Yeah, you mentioned that. We think back to some of the news stories this year of people of mid 60s, mid 70s in age that are being caught now for crimes they committed. You know, the cold cases are being thought out.
Well, the sheriff of the county, Bertie, he said that about the only thing they started this case with a complaint back in the summer in June. So this is 6 months in progress. Okay. Took that long to get enough verifiable information to suit a district attorney. That's the other case. We're gonna have Ernie Lee in here. Let's try to do that for first part of the week. Our district attorney here. And let's talk about the processes. I would like to have all morning long with him. If he can spare it. You spare it, I'll spare it. Okay, that's the best way to deal with some of this stuff.
I could spend hours listening to that man talk.
Where's my machete? I got one around here from 1944, U.S. Army. But if you have been one of those, just go talk to someone, counselor at least, your minister. Well, a minister that you can trust. Mm-hmm. Okay. Your parents, especially if it's long ago, may not even be here. They may have passed and not even known what you were going through. And young men, you could be the victim just as well. You could very well be the victim. Now they're going to put you through, as they should. They're going to put you through the ringer, shall we say, because they want to make absolutely sure. Because when you start accusing somebody of a crime like this, just the allegation is enough to destroy the other person.
Sure.
Because even if it's proven, even if it's disproven, the allegations are disproven, there are going to be people that are going to say, yeah, he got away with it. We had one to say that this week, sitting over there.
What? Yeah,
the guy that they picked up for the killings in Texas, in Brown University.
Right.
Yeah, they took him into custody. You said, yeah, but he did it.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, close to it. You said you know there's going to be proof that he did it.
Oh, no, I just said that from what I had read and heard at the time was they didn't have enough to hold him and charge him. Mm-hmm. But I said that I feel like that further investigation and they pieced more together. They came out with more videos yesterday that appeared to be the same person and enhanced the videos. But I didn't say he did it. I just said that I felt like that they would piece together, build their case, and it would be stronger.
The point that I'm making is the people, if you're accused of a heinous crime,
right,
and even if you're never charged,
right,
there are people going to question it. If you're charged and it's dismissed by a judge, maybe the district attorney will look at this case or a case and say, there's just not enough evidence here. I have now, and quite often, an attorney for whoever the individual is that is accused will bring some proof, and will go to a district attorney and
Right.
say, we'll pick one, any district attorney. We got one, Mr. Wright.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Have you looked at this side? Did the police look at all of this? Did you find out that this guy was on a cruise at the time these acts occurred that he's charged with? Oh. And then the DA will say, Mr. Police Officer, did you know this? They'll take a look at it, verify it, and the district attorney will then move for a dismissal.
Well, in the same sense, go past the district attorney, go
But-
to a trial, go to a jury that said the person's innocent. What do you do
No,
then?
they never say that.
That person is not guilty.
Yeah.
Okay, Rayford.
But like
Innocent, not
you
guilty.
keep saying, when they do that, they just didn't have enough proof. And that's what the majority, not just you, I'm talking about
Right.
me, you, everybody else will say, yeah, they just didn't have enough to nail him on it,
No,
did they?
well, yeah, I've not seen many cases like that. I watched one for 2 years that I kept an extremely open mind to begin with. In fact, my first thought was, yeah, guilty. But then as they started presenting the evidence and all the failures of the investigators and the DA involved, I was like, no way. And the witnesses that were able to come in and disprove the theories that the prosecution made up in order to try to find this person guilty of what they were being charged with.
Jack Bright probably would remember the case, maybe not, because he had a whole bunch of different cases stuff, and I don't know who they can't remember the detective, but it's probably Clarence Sisk in Jacksonville. A woman, she was a maid. She cleaned up
Right.
at the motel. She did the cleaning of the rooms after the guests left, right?
Right.
Well, she was cleaning a room, and a guy came into the room while she was cleaning it, and she claimed that he raped her.
Oh gosh.
Okay. Police found enough evidence to say, yeah, he raped her. And then the guy he did not stay in that room. He had never been in that particular room, and she had mostly cleaned the room, including the bathroom where the attack occurred, she said. And then got to trial, and all the evidence was presented, including her testimony. And the young guy was from Tennessee, and he was found not guilty. And the jurors explained later to individuals who asked, because they did not believe in the 1970s that in this county that a white man from Tennessee, from the hills of Tennessee, would rape a black woman. That's what they said
my
after the
gosh.
trial ended. Well, guess what? One piece of evidence was his palm print on the toilet seat.
Yeah, I think I remember a
His
little bit.
palm
about
print
this, the
was on the
discussion.
toilet seat for a man who had never been in that room, who didn't take the stand, of course. But for a man who had never been in that room before, his palm print was right there after the maid had cleaned the room, which she was in the process of cleaning the whole room.
Right.
And a juror of 12 unanimously decided this man was not guilty. Boy, this place gets quiet in a hurry, doesn't it?
I'm just thinking. I have thoughts in my head. I'm
sometime.
sorry.
That's those things happen, and it's disgusting. So when you decide to put your life in the hands of 12 of your peers, give it some serious consideration. 910-333-0139. And before you high-handed folks from up north or from other countries or from both decide, oh, that's just the way it is down here in the South. No, it's not. It happens in New York on a regular basis, the same kind of stuff. I
Oh.
mean,
Monday in Massachusetts, Brian Walsh, the man that dismembered his wife and dumped her in various dumpsters, which got dumped before they
found DNA in those dumpsters.
Yeah, they found some DNA, but that's all they found. But he was saying, no, she died, and I got scared, so I got rid of her body. Well, anyway, he was found guilty of first-degree murder.
Well, dismember somebody and you say, I just got rid of the body, we'll go to another case. From me, by the way.
He had already pled to the dismemberment proposal.
Yeah.
He had already
So
pled
he was guilty of that. So a woman, and now there, and the really egregious act of disposing of the body, we can say he went to extremes.
Yeah.
Would you not agree with that?
Right.
I mean, to cover up, why? Was it just to, no, yeah, that was to cover up his criminal act of murder. A reasonable juror, individuals, and a group of jurors as a jury, I think would agree that he had a lot of ulterior motives. And
Right.
I don't know what the other evidence presented was. Did you have $1 million insurance policy? I don't know. You don't know. You follow the trial. I have no clue, but I'm sure there were other situations that were presented that maybe it's been violence before. New Hanover County, right there on Myrtle Grove Road, right where I lived, across the Myrtle Grove Road from the subdivision that I lived in, a little rinky-dink house right beside a church, beautiful little church, right there. And the woman's husband, he was in and out, would come and leave and not be around for a while. And he came back, and he left one time and didn't come back ever. Police, sheriff's office was called by the children of this couple. And they said, he's been missing. We can't find him anywhere. He was an estranged dad anyway, and husband, but they couldn't find him. And it had been quite a while, a year gone by. Hadn't seen hide nor hair of him, couldn't find him. Police came by, and the woman got nervous. It was a trailer she lived in. And she got really nervous. And police came back, deputies came back, and they went underneath the trailer. And they found some fresh digging underneath the trailer. He'd been gone for a year, but he wasn't in that fresh digging. She broke down, fessed up. She dug him up after she put him there. He died of natural causes, she said. Now, she was what we used to refer to as 1073. That's some
Crazy.
mental issues, lots of mental issues, and she had them. I knew that. I've been across the street. But he died, and as it turned out, unless you hide that body completely, as in 50 miles offshore with shark-infested waters, there's going to be evidence remaining in the body as to, if anything, there was, and he died of natural causes.
Wow.
But she buried him because she said somebody would blame her for it. I mean, that's what was going through her head. So she dragged him outside underneath the trailer, dug a hole, and buried him.
Goodness gracious.
And she kept him there for a year.
Excuse me. How could you lay there at night in bed over top
Well,
of?
because you're like, well,
You're
I mean,
crazy.
she had other issues.
Yeah.
But what do you do in a case like that? And she took him and reburied him in a graveyard. Not in a graveyard, but in a grave that she dug in a graveyard at night.
Kathy told me of one that
Hey, Pete, did you see that new grave over there? Who dug that one?
Kathy had told me of one where she was working at a medical facility, and the gentleman just was coming in complaining, I just not eat. I can't eat. The food don't taste good, yada, yada. Long story short, the wife had been
Was his
arsenic.
Was his wife or girlfriend Marjorie Barfield?
Barfield.
I don't think that was, no, but it happened here. And it was found out that she had been lacing it with arsenic.
Yeah, a little bit at a time.
Yep.
Well, it doesn't get you right away unless you do a real big dose.
Yeah.
Little rat poison here, little rat poison there. You know, it builds up. It doesn't leave. real easy.
No, and when you have it out and you're still out in your shed and you say you're using it for killing rats and you think your husband's a rat, I guess. I don't know.
So those kinds of things do happen, people. So when you read about it, they are factual cases. I mean, this is real stuff. And I don't know what. Good luck with the jury. That's why you better have a really good defense attorney looking really closely at the jurors.
But, all we have to do is go back to OJ. Look at that.
God. I can tell you,
12 people found him innocent.
Well, once again, it was a situation where, that was the glove doesn't fit. You must say quit. That was the big thing right there.
Give me some leather gloves at any time of the day or night.
And let them get wet.
And I will soak them in and put them out in the sun, and they will not fit nothing. They won't fit your pinky toe.
They barely fit when they're brand new. Yeah,
I learned that one from the old Indian tricks. You know that, right?
Yeah.
You know how they got rid of people?
Yeah, they soaked the leather and then laid them out or around their neck. And
all you got to do is tie it right around here as tightly as you can when it's wet and in the sun, and it's going to slowly.
The whole world knew
you.
that OJ was guilty, that he did it. I mean, but he has such a remarkable
he wrote a book said he did
team.
it. This is how I done it, you dummy.
He had such a remarkable defense team. The state failed to
flamboyant defense
prove it.
Yeah.
No, they had a liar,
and their detective
Mark Furman.
Mm-hmm.
And he lied on the stand.
Right.
If he had told the truth, it would have been fine. If he had told the truth about his personal feelings and about the things that he had said about people, which everybody knew, I knew he lied the minute he said it, because I don't know of anybody who hasn't said it, including you, using the N word.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know anybody. There may be somebody today.
I told you my story. I was like 5 years old, didn't know what the word meant. And my best friend at the time was a black girl. And I used the word, and she chased me around 12 terrorists for like an hour to kick my rear end. But I learned. I mean,
I was, my best friend in high school was the starting quarterback. People know him, I'm sure, by name. And I asked him why it was okay for African Americans to use that word and
like
Caucasians. Yeah, and he explained why. And I said, okay, thanks. That was his explanation. It was pretty
cut and dry.
Yeah.
Well, you got other situations. I can. Not that I would, because she'd whoop me. I could say what I want to about my wife, but my God, if you do it, I'm going to punch your lights out.
Exactly.
You understand that?
Exactly.
I can call myself anything in the world that I want to, but if you do it, that pickaxe handle over there is going to get a little bit of extra dents in it.
Same to me.
Right.
That's just the way things are.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
well, you learn as you go.
Yeah, you do. Sometimes it takes a few whap.
We kids, we were pretty innocent growing up. We didn't know. Nobody ever sat down and said, look, there's a word in the English dictionary you don't use, or you don't say this, or you don't say that. When you go to a funeral, you do this. You learn as you go along. My brother and I, my mom, we were driving down Belfort. Well, she was driving. We were in the back seat going down Belfort Road. And we were very young at the time, 7, 8 years of age. And I just remember her hand coming and getting us both at the same time. We were flipping people off. We did not know. Both of us, me in one window and him in the other.
You did not know that your mama had a pair of eyes behind that head of hers.
Thank goodness she caught us when she did, because we'd probably gotten beat up on the playground, some other day. But, as kids growing up, you mimic adults, you mimic what you see other people do. Yeah. And unless you have mama caught us, and mama set us straight right then and there. So we learned after that what that symbol was.
You probably could have gotten away with it up north. New York, New Jersey.
No, I'd be scared to do that. I'd be scared I'd get shot.
I do have a question.
People crazy.
I know we're going to do weather, but is Dr. Rose calling in today?
Yes.
Yeah.
There used to be a day.
Serious flu time.
7:30. There used to be a day, I'll tell you real quick, that, if you were out on the road driving and somebody honked their car horn. You figured it was your neighbor or somebody you knew, right? Nowadays, they honk the horn. You just don't look and just stay in your lane and pray they're not honking at you. You know what I'm saying? Things have changed. Whether or not you want to believe it.
Well, there are a couple of different things too. You know, some people, I've done it all my life. Don't really do it anymore because I know what the other meaning is. People honk the horn. I say, hey, and give them a thumbs up, right? Well, thumbs up has got another meaning.
Oh.
Up yours. If you have a desire to head offshore, this would be a great day to call in, cough it up a bit like you're about to take your last breath, and then head offshore for some saltwater therapy.
Right.
Westerly winds today out to 20 nautical miles, 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet every 4 seconds, sounds and rivers of moderate chop. Thursday, tomorrow. Easterly winds 5 to 10, becoming southeasterly 15 to 20 in the afternoon, seas 2 to 3 feet. Building up to 3 to 5 in the afternoon. If you're going fishing tomorrow, do it early in the morning and then be back ashore or close to the beach in time for the waves to start to pick up. Sounds and rivers will have a light chop tomorrow, and it's going to chop it up a bit in the afternoon. Friday, southwesterly winds 20 to 25 knots, becoming westerly 15 to 20 in the afternoon. Not a good day at all. Gusts up to 30 knots. Seas. Come on, surfers, it's your time. 7 to 10 feet, 5 to 8 near shore. Sounds and river riders, you might want to stay home. Sounds and rivers, rough, diminishing to choppy in the afternoon.
Today, mostly sunny with a high near 60, southwest wind 3 to 8 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a low around 39, patchy fog after 3 a.m. Thursday, a chance of afternoon showers, mostly cloudy with a high near 67. Friday, a chance of showers before 1 p.m., mostly sunny with a high near 65. 65. I was laughing because I pulled this off the National Weather Service. That's what I use. And it says mostly sunny, but I just went to an app, which is a local television station. And it said mostly cloudy. And I'm like, what? I'm like, okay.
I had dinner last night at our church council. And anyway, and I was talking to a couple that from Puerto Rico. They live here now. But they were showing pictures. And the area of Puerto Rico, they said 75 degrees Christmas Day. They're in the water.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's just beautiful. And so I was going, you know what? And they said, except the summertime when it's in the 90s and it's high humidity. And I'm like, okay, well, that's what it is in North Carolina. And I particularly like it, as everybody knows, but it'd be kind of nice, be in Puerto Rico.
I would not have a problem with that. I got some friends there with a room with my name on it.
They offered their house.
Nice.
They do.
But they're not using it, but they're going to be using it for the next 3 weeks after.
I got these folks there. They got a room. They just moved into a new place there, and they're from Onslow County. Well, they're from New Hanover and Pender County, but it was a pilot, so they moved there. She's Puerto Ricanese. That's what I call her. I get it. You speak some Puerto Ricanese? Speak some Puerto Ricanese for me. That's what I used to tell her.
Puerto Ricanese?
Puerto Ricanese. Well, you've heard of Pekingese, so I just call her Puerto Ricanese.
Puerto Ricanese. It just makes me hungry when you start talking Puerto Rican.
Oh, let me tell you about that Puerto Ricanese. That woman, when we were vacationing together, we'd go down on a boat down. They had a boat down in the British Virgin Islands. We go down there and spend about a week to 10 days with them, at least once a year. Oh, my. She looked for plantains. Don't y'all go, y'all stay back away from the grocery store when I go to shopping for the fresh stuff.
Right.
Because I'm going to get the local fresh stuff. And she get the plantains that were just right. She'd check every one of them out. Kind of like I do with corn on the cob when I go in. You think I'm going to take that corn on the cob without peeling that thing back?
Oh, so you're the one that's been doing that.
So have I. I have.
And anyway, we come back to the boat. Remind me to talk to you about corn on the cob when we get through with Dr. Rose here in a minute, unless we get to it before she calls. But anyway, she would cook up that plantain on the boat Oh my God, that would smell so good. People from, the next group of islands 100 miles away would come a looking.
I've never had one.
You really haven't.
No.
Don't
I've
try to
never
do it
had
because
one.
you can't. I've tried. I couldn't.
Yeah,
I don't
aren't
care
they
what she-
kind of like a banana on the taste?
Only in the looks.
Looks.
Oh,
Ain't
I'm looking
nothing
them up
banana-ish
right now.
about them. I'll even let you have one on the boat. Not a banana, though.
Oh,
They may look like bananas, but there are several key traits that set them apart. Okay, they look
She
like
had to
bananas.
look it up. She didn't believe us.
No, I mean I knew
She had
because
to
I've
look us up. Believe it. She had to prove that we were right.
No, I believed you because I've been interested and curious about them before, and they do look like bananas. But
Only on the
there's
outside.
some recipes right here for you, Rayford.
The simplest is the best.
I know. I had one. It was some venue where they had cooked them, and they were in. I forget. I remember trying one.
No, they're good. They do it
Yeah.
right, they're good. Do it wrong, it's just mush. Okay, we're waiting for Dr. Rose to call in. She should be in any moment now, so stand by for that. High speed, a country road, late night, 2 dead,
That's
one
terrible.
seriously hurt Monday night, early Tuesday morning. Happened about 2:30 in the morning on 10 Mile Fork Road in Jones County. The investigating state trooper said speed is a contributing factor. I would never have guessed. The car, driven by 23-year-old Aaron Overman of Havelock, left the road on a curb and flipped over several times, rolling down the embankment. Overman died, as did a passenger, 29-year-old Bradley Case of Newbert. He was thrown from the car. 29-year-old Courtney Rhodes, the second passenger, seriously hurt and hospitalized. 2:30 in the morning. Speed.
Mhm.
A back road. What is your hurry? I'm talking not to him. Obviously, he's no longer with us, as is another person that was in the car. I don't know how seriously injured, but they say Courtney Rhodes seriously injured. What's it worth? What are you going to be doing? Saving? If you want to do the math sometime, you're a decent man with math. Figure out the distance from here to on an interstate. Forget everything else. Do the interstate somewhere. Do a 50-mile stretch of the interstate, and you're going to drive 50 miles per hour for exactly 50 miles. How long is it going to take you to get there?
An hour and
50 miles in 1 hour, and you're driving at 50 miles per hour. It's going to take you 1 hour.
Right, 1 hour.
So let's say you increase your speed to 55 miles per hour instead of an hour to get there. Maybe 58 minutes.
I like the ones that like to speed up. They're going to pass you and do nothing.
Oh,
Go
God.
60, 70 miles an hour, and then you meet them at the stoplight.
Yep,
Yes, buddy.
happens every
What
morning.
I really like
Bill
is the
Ford.
one that passes me running 80 miles an hour, and I meet him up the road, and I toot my horn when he's sitting there with the blue lights behind him. I toot, toot. Hey,
Oh, I know. That
if
is
you don't
just-
think I'll toot the horn and
well,
wave at him, you are wrong. I will do it.
Dr. Rose calling.
What's he going to do about it? Chase me down? Good luck.
You gotta have a head start.
Well, yeah, you're going to have a long head start.
Besides that, be careful what you bite off. It might be really tough to chew on. Dr. Rose, good morning. She
morning.
said, what Sam Hill is he talking about this morning?
Good morning, Dr. Rose.
Good morning.
How are you?
How is everybody?
Doing good.
Cold.
Good.
I'm doing better after I visited a urgent care Sunday morning and got something for a sinus infection, what I want to talk to you about when we have a
All
chance.
right.
You
Yeah.
need to open up a facility here or give us a nighttime number so we can call you.
We've become an urgent care over here.
Yeah, we need a concierge physician right in the house.
After you tell us how you're doing, I'll just ask my general question. How are you doing?
All right. We're doing fine, and we're doing fine. Even better after hearing your lovely voices.
Oh, well, thank you.
Thank you,
Well, yours is a
Dr.
lovely one this morning. And,
Yeah.
and 1 week from today, you know what it is, don't you?
Absolutely. Christmas Eve.
Uh-huh.
So exciting.
Dr. Rose, you have that childlike excitement in your voice right now. with Christmas Eve?
That's good. I think the kids are so excited. They're coming in. There's huge smiles. They go over to the little toy box, and I have such great goodies for them. It's exciting.
Do you think maybe their parents send them over there to your toy box, and then they take the toys from them and re-gift them to somebody?
Rayford,
What?
No.
I'm just checking, seeing what kind of clients she has.
not Dr. Rose's.
If I got a toy out of Dr. Rose's box, I would give it to another little child.
Oh, that's really
Maybe
sweet.
today, but in the day-
I don't think the parents are taking the toy.
Yeah.
We should have sent a box of toys.
Well, Dr. Rose, on a medical question, sinus infections are not contagious. Is that correct? And
Pretty
why?
much. I mean, any infection can be contagious. If you sneeze or you cough on somebody, the particles are going to have some of the bacteria that's giving you the infection for sure. But they're probably the least contagious of all the upper respiratory infections.
Good to know.
Okay. Lee, would you go get me that big gallon Tupperware container thing out? We're going to put it over his head. So if he sneezes,
Good to know. He's been here all week.
I'm on my antibiotics and everything is fine.
okay. Is this sinus infection? You know, kids can get them. They have little headaches, or sometimes I know parents. So a kid gets up in the morning and has been sleeping, and you know that stuff. If you've got any of it in there anyway, and it's just going to be hanging around because kids don't know to get rid of it before they go to bed, right? And so
That's right. Exactly.
hangs around, then it becomes an infection, and then they get up in the morning and you say, now you just don't want to go to school, right?
And that happens a lot. It starts in kids. It usually starts with a cold or bad allergies, and
Really?
and all that drainage just sticks in there and backs up into the sinuses and their ears. In kids, you get something else, which is since they don't clear their airways and spit that stuff up, it goes down into their airways and their lungs,
Well,
and so it causes a bronchitis. You hear like a really congested, icky cough, and after a couple of days of having a cold, and so you have that bronchitis and sinusitis in kids.
So I have a question, another one, Dr. Rose. So I knew what I had when I went in there, and the PA was very nice. And she said, "So what brings you in?" I said, "I need a Z-Pack. I have a sinus infection." And she checked my ears, but then I'm always curious, why do they say, "Let me open your mouth and say ah," for a sinus infection?
Oh, that's a good question.
Thank
I
you.
wasn't expecting that. So when you open your mouth and you say ah, and not I or anything like that, it brings your tongue out and makes it so that you can see all the way to the back of your pharynx, so that you can see the back of the throat and your tonsils. That it pretty much only happens well when you say ah and stick your tongue out.
of course, if you say it deep enough and loud enough, and you can see the toes in there, right? All the way down?
That's a
Well, I'll have to use that one on children and see what they say.
That's a good point, though, because try to do it saying E or O or U.
No, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
I never tried it. The kids told me the same thing. Why is it ah? I said, because you won't do it. You're closing your mouth. Oh, you have to close your mouth.
Oh,
How about bah? If someone stick their tongue out and say bah.
or ba. For you, it would be ba.
Just like a sheep.
That might,
So has it been quiet for you with the children as we head into the Christmas holiday?
It has been unseasonably quiet for the last couple of days. Where I was kind of like, what are
Keyword.
they doing? Are they ignoring the illnesses until
Keyword.
Yeah, it has been. It's been very bizarre.
watch out. Incoming.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The Q word. There's an S word and a Q word. You never, and an H word during the seasons.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah, we don't say that. We don't say that word.
Which word?
You don't say the Q word.
That's quiet.
That's
You
right.
don't say the H word during
That's-
June.
That's Hurricane.
Yeah, and you don't say the S
Oh,
word
that's
during
right.
the winter.
Snow.
Very
Oh,
good.
yeah.
I didn't know what she was.
agree.
My mind went somewhere else. Didn't yours? It did.
I don't know why.
Because we're
I
who we are.
agree.
Okay. No, seriously, I'm reading, and I read some disgusting stuff, scary stuff about the flu again this week, first of the week, and over the weekend there were more cases in North Carolina, increasing number of deaths in North Carolina. And I heard that we had or I didn't hear, I read the facts are that this was a real news story that there were 500 and some deaths from flu last season, a year ago. Wow. I don't recall hearing about all of those. And then they started listing, we'd only had like 6 or 8 or 9 or something only. If I was one of those, that would be awful. But we've had 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 so far this season, as of that writing. But they were picking up, dozens of cases every week. Have you seen any there?
Well, we have had several flus, and I think that the ones that we did see were flu Bs. And that's usually that one lasts a little longer, and they feel pretty sick. But flu A, they usually it's really fast, and they feel sicker.
Okay.
But none of them were. I mean, they were like medium sick. None of them had to go to the hospital. They got better in a couple of days. I have certainly not seen any children that got severely ill, nor their parents that I've heard of that got so ill that needed to go to the hospital. So I'm suspecting that it probably is among the elderly, maybe in retirement homes or in the hospitals. That we're hearing those, because remember, the most susceptible people for the flu and getting very ill or dying would be the very little and preemies, and then on the other side, the very elderly and already sickly.
Okay, so Mama, when you go shopping, put some blasted shoes on your baby.
I thought about you last week, Dr. Rose. I was somewhere where it was
You saw
cold,
one, right?
and those babies coming in with no coats.
And no
So
shoes.
mad.
And no shoes.
No
So
coat
mad.
and no socks and little shoes.
Yep.
Oh, it's terrible. And the hat. They need to have a little hat.
I agree.
They got no hair to protect them.
I know. So they don't have
Yeah, we start out that way in life and end up that way.
up.
I was going to take a picture and send it to Dr. Rose. I was so mad. I was like,
God.
oh, man. Like, woman, you've got a heavy sweater on. What about that baby? What about that baby?
It's amazing.
Well, what I see around here are those.
I don't know what to say anymore about how parents natural instincts.
Well, what I see is the parent quite often who may be described as well fed, without a jacket on, short sleeves, maybe shorts on, and carrying the little kid and dressing the kid the same way she's dressing herself. Not enough clothes to stay warm on because the little baby does not have built-in insulation or heat generating fat.
I know, and they can't express themselves very well. So
No, they can't.
I don't know. But for parents and grandparents out there, please bundle the little ones up. They don't tolerate the cold as well as adults do.
No.
For sure.
Your daughter, and she arrives when? Is she for Christmas?
She's already back home. We went on a little
Wonderful.
pilgrimage to visit my Aunt Peggy, who is now 92 and feisty.
Wow.
Dicey and racy, probably.
And so from there, we came back home a couple of days ago, and she's happy to be home. So thanks for asking for her.
Well,
I was
That's
talking to some
wonderful.
friends last night at a party, and they're from Puerto Rico, and they said it was in wintertime 75, and I was mentioning Punta Cana, and I was like, yeah, that's where I'd like to be Christmas Day, Punta Cana.
Florida was absolutely heavenly. It was 75 to 80 during the day, and at night it was like 62, and with the slightest bit of breeze. So it was hard to leave.
I need to call my buddy Drew way down there in Miami Shores. Hey, Drew, we're coming for Christmas.
hello, Drew.
Get me a boat. I'll get the lobsters.
Wow.
That's right. Shorts and sandals for Christmas.
Mm. I've
Fins,
seen many of a Christmas here growing up.
fins,
Though we had
mask,
shorts
and
and
dive
sandals
jacket.
on.
Yeah.
We go out there and take our new toys out into the yard wearing flip flops and t-shirts to play.
Yeah, it's been a lot of 75-degree
Yes.
days.
We had that one where it was 13 inches of snow.
17 in
17.
Wilmington.
Yeah.
It
You
was.
can get it all.
Yes,
It
ma'am.
looks like we're going to have a mild Christmas, which
Yes.
I love.
Well, I'm waiting to see it because we've certainly not leading up to it with mildness. Jeez.
I know.
We had 14 here in the studio the other morning, and it was even colder outside. But it felt like. But yeah, we had a low of 14 one morning. That's just too blasted cold this
Yeah,
time of year.
that
It's
is
not even
too
winter
cold.
yet until what, the 21st?
22nd?
22nd?
Yeah,
One of those
well,
days.
that's just a day. I think it's winter, just not a winter.
You tell him, Dr. Rosa. It's just a day on the calendar.
We have to call it winter
That's
light
right.
weather now instead. Then we can call it winter weather after the
But
22nd.
we're getting back to spring and fall weather here.
Then it'll
end of
be
the week.
spring-like or fall-like.
Wonderful.
One quick question. Dr. Rose, do you still handwrite prescriptions? Do you still handwrite?
Yes, I do.
You do?
I'm an old-fashioned doctor. The way I learned it is the way I do it.
Well, good.
Uh-oh.
I don't like changing things around at work, so I want to make sure that what works is what I apply because that's how I do it well.
Okay. If I get you my address, can you write me a prescription for 2 weeks in Punta Cana?
I'm going to write one for you and for me.
Okay.
I want to go to Klondike.
Let me go to
I'll see
US
if
Air
they
right
take
now.
that.
Thank you.
I would like to go to Klondike. So can you handle that 3 weeks, please?
You know what would happen if either one of you went
We'd
to
have a
Punta-
hurricane.
Yeah, thank you. One of those
middle
rare
of the winter.
oysters or something. And,
To close up, I just wanted to make sure because next time, I don't know if you guys want me to call in on the 24th. I'll be
Sure.
more than happy
Of
to.
course.
Okay, and then it'll be the 24th already. So we got 1 week before Christmas, parents. So make sure that you take really good care of those little ones. Preventive care is the best. Try not to let them go outside. It's going to be a lot warmer, but make sure that they put on a nice sweater and a
Absolutely.
light jacket to go outside. And when they come inside, make sure they take their little jacket off and they warm up slowly and then maybe some warm
Hot
tea.
chocolate.
And all that good stuff and some immune medicines to bolster up their immune system. No kid wants to be sick for Christmas.
Brandy.
It's the worst thing. The parents are miserable. The child is absolutely so sad and unhappy. So just do the preventive measures so that everybody is well and everybody can enjoy Christmas.
Absolutely. And be safe while we're doing it.
Absolutely.
And so Dr. Rose is saying, although she loves each and every one of the children that come and see her, she'd rather not see them right now.
She don't want to see them.
No.
Y'all stay
That's
home
right.
and stay well.
That's right.
Or stay well and
so,
stay
yeah,
home.
and the last little piece of advice is if the child has been having a problem like a bad cough or really yicky boogers for a while, just call the doctor today. Call the
Do
doctor
it
today
now.
or tomorrow. Have it checked out
right.
before they get sicker and sicker, and then they're really sick for Christmas.
Because you're going
Just
to
have it checked out.
because you're going to have to go on beginning on Friday. Guarantee you, you're going to have to go to if you can find an urgent care type of places open, or you're going to have to go to the ER. And you go to the ER and wait as everybody else is
During
waiting to go
Christmas.
there. You go have a mess on your hands.
Mhm.
So
That's
prepare
right. And those
yourself for
poor
it.
miserable kids sitting in an ER
It's
around
terrible.
Christmas time. That's just not fair. So
Terrible.
No, it's
don't
not.
ignore the fevers and the persistent cough and the yicky snot. Just take care of it now. This is a good time to
Good
make sure that
advice.
all that stuff gets taken care of.
A lot of things may run their course, as they say, over a couple of 3 days or whatever. But why take the chance? 3 days from now is going to be Saturday, and I know where you're going to be waiting. You're not going to be waiting
Mhm.
at home. You're going to have to be waiting at an ER while you could be celebrating or buying more Christmas gifts from me.
Oh, it's all about you now.
Of course. Y'all just pool your money and put it in an account. I'll tell you which one.
Oh my gosh.
That's easy.
Dr. Rose, thank you.
Thank you,
And
Dr. Rose.
yeah, we got to get over and make sure we're protected.
Yeah, have a wonderful week,
That's
and I
right.
look forward to talking to you next week.
Yes, sending you lots of love and prayers.
Take
That's
care.
right.
Be safe.
Oh, thank you so much. Okay, you guys all do well. Talk
Thank
to
you.
you
Thank
next
you.
week on Christmas
Right.
Eve.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, have a blessed week.
Hey, just want a quick shout out to Barry listening to
Barry.
us from Wallace, North
All
Carolina.
right.
Wallace.
Wallace, how
Do you know
doing,
my
Barry?
buddy over there in Wallace named Bobby T? Barry? Do you know Bobby T?
Is he the one that
He was
we
on-
hear
He
on
was
the?
on. No, he was on TV for a long time. But
I don't know Bobby T.
I hired him one time, twice, I think.
Speaking of TV,
Oh, my. Where's the
one day
draft
this
coming
week or
from?
last week.
Because you keep hit. I know now.
What?
You've got the remote for that fan.
No, I do not. This is the one for the heater outside.
Oh well, what did you just?
I hit
Now
this.
kids.
How did the fan?
Uh-oh.
See,
It does control that one too. Son of a gun. Seriously,
Learn
that's not
something
it.
new.
I saw you pick it up and hit a button, and that came on. That's why I asked.
Oh,
So it controlled.
that's the problem.
Oh.
Now
Thank you
in
for
this corner.
figuring it out. I know how to turn it off now.
Because
though.
he's like going, and I'm like, I hear like a fan, but I know I turned the heat off. And then when you pointed at that, I'm like, and
Yeah,
then
but-
sitting here and you were talking to Dr. Rose, and I saw you pick up the clicker and the fan came on. And
Well,
I'm
I
like,
picked up the clicker and aimed it outside, trying to get
he's
the.
messing with us.
There's a heater on in the building out there. Oh,
He's
it's coming up. I might
messing
have turned
with
it on
us.
now because the temperature's coming up.
Ah. So you've been cutting on the fan the whole time.
So we
Not me. It's the fault of the manufacturer of this device.
That is so. Are they made by the same manufacturer?
It doesn't matter. Go ahead.
we were talking about our favorite president when we were children. I said it was Charlie McCarthy, Edgar Bergen, Berger. And do you know where they debuted?
Ed Sullivan Show.
No,
Oh.
on the radio in 1936.
that's
Can
right.
you imagine?
I did read that.
Yeah.
I did read that.
Can you
They had
imagine you're doing-
ventriloquist on radio?
They're
That's
doing,
back when they had radio.
yeah, but you're doing a ventriloquist act on
Oh,
the
yeah.
radio.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Kind of, you could move your lips and no problem
Yeah.
there, couldn't you? No, actually, they had studio audiences. A lot of those
Yeah,
live radio
yeah, they
programs.
did. Yeah,
So they actually performed for an audience live, and it was carried over the radio.
yeah, yeah.
A lot of bands did things like that. Small country bands would do things. I had them in Wilmington doing it on WMFD radio
I
back in the
remember
day.
that the station. Yeah.
So it was
But I just thought it was kind of funny that, and I think it was today in 1936 that started. That was my favorite toy, and today they celebrate their first act on the radio.
Aw.
A dummy back then, and you got one now.
I had a little one. I don't
I'm
know
sorry?
whatever happened to it, but I've always wanted the big one and learned to do that.
It's not hard. You practice in the mirror.
You could say a lot of stuff and get away with it.
No, you
It
can't.
wasn't me, it was the dummy.
Can you imagine? This will get gruesome here, right? You ready?
Mhm.
Going to a funeral, sitting up front. While the dearly departed is lying out in front of you.
That brings to mind what would you do if you were at a funeral and the body in the coffin suddenly moved? What would be the first thing you would do?
Check the pulse.
What would you do?
I'd figure it was me playing a prank.
I'd run out the door. I don't know about you two. I'm gone.
You know, if it looked obviously if they how you put that, if they do embalming, it ain't going to move unless
Right.
there's some
Right.
gases
Yeah.
involved. But the gases would have been disposed of well before the time of a funeral, unless the funeral is hours after the death.
My point exactly.
Now,
It shouldn't be
in the
moving.
morgue or in embalming
Mhm.
rooms, there have been lots of cases before
Right.
they got that far along.
Mhm.
But you read the funny stories that occur in courtrooms, and there are lots of them that occur there. I've been present for one or 17,000, but it's the defense attorney being a real young, dumb, inexperienced
Mhm.
defense attorney talking to the detective, and talking with the medical examiner. Now, a guy with some experience under his belt, right? Said, and doctor, this person, you say died from a whatever the cause of death was, and he's stumbling and stuttering. Yeah, well, doctor, could this person have maybe been alive at the time that you examined him before you did the autopsy? No.
Guess what?
I'm not. How do you know that? Did you check his vital signs? He said, nope, didn't have to. Well, why would you not have checked his signs to be sure he was dead before you started the autopsy? Because he hit a tree and his brains were laying there beside him on the table.
I had a headache.
And the doctor said, well, but, and the defense attorney did say at that point in time, according to the script that was there, and this was from a transcript, but doctor, could he still been alive? He said, did you really get a degree in law anywhere? That's how the doctor came back. Do you really have a law degree?
Wow.
I mean,
Interesting.
Everybody, oh my God.
You hear stories.
I'm glad I was not in that courtroom. I would have been like, y'all, we need to remove this guy because this guy is not getting good defense.
Well, I want to give a shout out to the North Carolina Governor's Office of Military and Veterans Affairs, who I got to speak to yesterday concerning Wreaths Across America and the celebrations that we had this past Saturday, and ones we plan on having this upcoming year. And don't forget, folks, right now it's buy one, get one free.
Talk about that one.
And last night, one of the gentlemen that was at the dinner I was at made a point to say, as he wrote out the check, tell Rayford I accepted his challenge, and he bought
Good.
one.
Thank you.
He bought
I
one
need to go in there and do that.
and did it. And
He got two though.
he got two for the price of one. So for $17, you get two wreaths.
That's $8.50 a piece, y'all.
Yes, sir. And Senator Lazar, I was in contact with him
He gonna get a
yesterday.
bunch.
He was going to get some.
He's gonna get double the bunch.
What has been sad is there has been reports, and it's not here in Onslow County. We all make sure it doesn't happen here, but that wreaths are being taken from one gravesite and moved to another gravesite. Folks, when people do these, donate a wreath, and especially to a loved one, and they've placed the wreath on a loved one, like if you need a wreath, call me and I'll help you out. But don't take somebody's wreath off a grave. That's just about the lowest.
That's a whooping offense.
It is, but
Right there on the process in the location.
I just got a notification that it happened somewhere here in North Carolina.
That's horrible. Absolutely horrible.
It is
sad to hear that.
It's very sad, and I mean it's sad that we were short at Onslow Memorial Park. It's sad they were short over at Coastal Carolina Veterans Cemetery. You know, all we can do is try. That's all we can do is try.
Right.
But
Now y'all can try too. You can try right now. You can make up. We don't have to. Chris does not have to try nearly as hard if you just give him a call, give him your credit card number, and I told you I'll get somebody. I got to send her your numbers. It's okay to do
Yes.
that, right?
yes,
So she's going to call you. It'll be a Maryland-looking number.
not a problem. I answer all calls.
But God, you poor man.
That's really sad.
But if you can afford one wreath for $17, fine, you'll get two.
Yeah.
But you got to do this before 2 weeks from now.
Which interesting, as you just mentioned, that I got a call back from our region director yesterday, returning my call, and said, it's very important, Chris, make sure that the check is written before the 31st. More importantly, it has to be postmarked, Lee,
Oh yeah.
before the 31st.
Well, don't put it in your mailbox.
No, do not put it in the mailbox. It won't get postmarked at all, will it?
You need to either take it to the post office or put it in one of those blue boxes that you
Yeah.
see around.
Or call Chris and give him your credit card number.
Yeah.
Yes, and
It's done now.
Speaking of
I have
that,
actually had, I'm sorry, Lee, but really just want to touch on this. I've had other people give me it because I assure everybody, I'm not going to do nothing. I'm going to take it. I'm going to process it. I'm going to shred it. And then
Yes.
I'm going to burn it.
Well, he's done that for me, so no, I
Yes.
guarantee you.
I just go straight to the website that you supply,
Yes.
click on that, and just do it through
I
there.
just give it to Chris because I
Yeah.
don't want to go to that trouble.
Yeah.
My computers
mind.
hate me.
Yeah.
You have a lot of issues with your computer, and
I do.
I think
it's not
it's
me. It's the computers.
well, I think the computer's like he's turned us on again.
And just one last
I
thing.
got problems
You know?
with people too.
When you're looking for, if you want to help the group that we do, Wreaths Honoring Our Fallen Veterans, you're either looking for NC 0611 or Wreaths Honoring Our Fallen Veterans, and it's on our Facebook page. Lee was nice enough to attach the link to it. Wreaths Across America - Jacksonville, North Carolina, is something different. And so you need to be cautious of that, because there is actually in Jacksonville, Florida, they have a national cemetery. So you have to be very careful.
We have problems with Jacksonville,
Yes.
Florida a lot,
Yes, we do.
and Arkansas, and Illinois.
Yeah.
I think they got one in California.
Well, all I have to do is mention our military base and they know where we're at.
That's right. Jacksonville, near the Camp Lejeune. I do that all the time. I know what Camp Lejeune is. Court Street still there? When I'm talking to people. Lord have mercy. It is, but not like it was. So, okay. Your telephone number is 910.
389-8698. And you can email cmarks3, the numeral.
That's C as in Charlie, like the initial C as in Charlie. Marks, Marks.
The numeral 3 at ec.rr.com.
If you want to call us, 910-333-0139.
Yeah, give us a call.
There's lots of threes involved.
There was a
It
lot of
just didn't
threes.
sound right when you just said it for some reason.
910-333-0139.
I know, maybe it's just the way you said it. It was not your normal.
Okay,
Like
910-333-0139. That really confuses people when you do it like that, doesn't it? They say, "What is that a telephone number? Where's that number?" 910-333-0139. Doesn't even roll off the lips, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Not sure the high taxes imposed on products coming into the United States are having the effect that the president thought they would have. Arguably, for decades, low or no taxes were charged on much of the lower end items that we were buying that the public thought they were getting. Times have changed, and this season, the higher end gifts have been priced out of sight in many cases. Those high end gifts that were coming from over yonder, they got a surtax, a charge, a tariff added to them. Those higher tariffs, in many, if not most cases, were not absorbed by the manufacturers in those foreign countries. They were passed along to the U.S. retailers who buy and sell the stuff to us, you and me. Thing is, some retailers saw no way that the costlier products, the higher end products, were going to sell this year. So they just did not stock their shelves with them. They never bought them.
Wow.
So the good old 5 and dimes, they're sticking with 5 and dime items, but those items are made in the U.S. or otherwise it'd have been 25 to 50 instead of 5 and dimes. Here's what we can expect. Trying to find a great gift at a reasonable price, out of the question. That's going to be the thing. You're rich, you don't care. Trying to find a great gift at a reasonable price is going to be somewhat difficult. You can settle for cheaper stuff that will cost you more than it's worth. That's a heck of a statement. I can buy cheaper stuff, but it's actually going to cost me more than it's actually worth because still got to pay those surcharges on them.
Yeah, that's true.
Surcharges, tariffs,
Yes.
whatever you want to call them. Or, like I'm hearing from some folks, something that I just don't detest, but I only under certain circumstances have I participated in it, buying gift cards. Let me explain. A $50 gift card is still going to cost you $50. There's no tariff on it. The recipient is going to be happy with a $50 gift card. Might even be able to add a few dollars when he gets it to this so-called free card and get something he or she actually wants. Or, which is likely, they'll appreciate the card and enjoy a great meal or evening out or regular car washes throughout the year with that card. if you know you got a teenager, somebody with a
No,
car,
grandchildren.
either way, with a car, they like to keep it washed, or they would keep it washeder. If they had a gift card, they could go once a month with a gift card.
Yeah.
Swipe it and get the work done.
That's a nice
It is a
gift.
very nice gift.
I've given those.
Right.
Or even a gas card. They can enjoy these car washes year round. It's something every time they do it, they're going to think, oh my God, I wonder if I'm going to get one this coming year.
Mm-hmm.
You might. Just thinking out loud, even though it's not nearly as personal, you can buy the ones that could be more personal, like a car wash, or like someplace they like to go, like one of those $98 per cup of coffees that you could go drive through and get, right?
Another good thing is a movie membership.
Or a movie membership.
Those are
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
save a lot of money.
Rayford, on your car wash, you
Uh-huh.
could get, there's some of them that have unlimited
Yes.
car washes,
Yes.
and they're less than $50.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can make these things very personal. If you buy a card that can be used in places the person on your shopping list actually likes to shop or eat.
Right.
I mean, they'll think of you every time they go there and use that card. I mean, you're like, okay, I got, how much left do I have on this thing? Oh, they'll tell you, and then you can just keep using it. If you got some kid in college somewhere, buy them a McDonald's gift card or whatever, because they'll use that year round. When they get stuck and they don't have some money to get through the end of the month, hey, I'm going to be eating burgers here.
Chick-fil-A or Starbucks. That's what the college kids like.
Starbucks at $98 a cup of coffee. Oh,
Well, they love the Starbucks.
that's for socializing.
They love the Starbucks.
Just go in there and order some water and sit down and talk.
No, you don't. In Starbucks, you don't have all this big dining room area. You order your coffee, you go up, you get it, and you go.
Got a story from a bunch of years ago. Thinking back how long ago, it's a long time. I remember this time of year, every year I think about it too. 6-year-old beauty queen who was murdered during the Christmas season in Colorado. You
Wow.
sure to know the name, John Benet Ramsey.
Yes.
That's when it
I was
happened.
Yeah.
mhm.
Her murder remains unsolved, and the police in Colorado make annual updates to the case. They say that case is still active on as far as they're concerned. It's growing colder by the hour. This year, they report they have some new evidence and leads, but that's all they're saying. They're not telling anybody what they are, which is probably, I'm telling you, one of the smartest thing people can do, because
Mhm.
just putting out the word, I got some new evidence, or I got some leads to this thing, will make guilty people like, are they coming for me? And when you just show up at those people's houses, say, hey, Merry Christmas, they start shaking. John Benet was killed in her home where her slightly older brother and her parents lived. The Ramseys woke up and were not able to locate their daughter inside the home or outside the home. Police were called. A search was done of the house, and a note, supposedly a ransom note, was found. The whole family, their friends, their neighbors, most people in the neighborhood, they walked in, walked around, through and around the house, all over the house and the property. Her body was finally located in the basement later in that day, the same day, when Daddy Ramsey led police on another tour, ironically, to the basement. By most accounts, this was a sloppy case from the time the call went out
I agree.
to every hour for years to come. Someone has gotten away with murder for 36 years. Honestly, there's no good end in sight for this. Daddy's dead or mama's dead. One is dead. Who knows what went down?
Do you think we'll ever?
There's at
ever
least
know?
there's at least one person
That does know.
I'm suspicious
Right.
of individual. But if you have never, you may have heard of it, but you never looked at it because we lived it during that time. It was on every newscast for a year. John Benet Ramsey, Jon is the way it was spelled. Renee Benet, Benet, Ramsey, Ramsey. John Benet Ramsey. Just Google that and start reading some of the old stories. Don't look at the new stories. Look at if you can find some stories from that date and for the Colorado newspapers, read those papers and find out how it was playing out day by day by day by day by day.
Mm-hmm.
Then it became a cold case. Now it's open.
Right.
I guess back up.
It's been reopened,
yeah.
but the police have not now. I mean, I guess they have teams, but 36 years ago, cops that were brand new rookies then have been retired for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So she would have been what now? 40 or
36 and 6 is 42 years. Yeah. 42 years old.
That's
that was
sad.
that was very tragic.
The whole case was sad, and it brought a lot of attention to what was going on. The girl, you look at her pictures at 6 years of age, and the pageant mom stuff really.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Well, that's beside the point. The girl was murdered.
Right.
I don't know whether she was murdered because of that or what. But John Benet Ramsey was dolled up for all of her photos, for all of her pageantry that she participated in. And she was a talented young lady, likely was headed for Miss America. Not much doubt that's where it would have been going, at least on the circuit, because there is a circuit and a circus that goes along with these beauty pageants.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But she had the talent. My God,
She's
she
a
was
beautiful child,
Yes,
very
she was.
talented.
beautiful, naturally beautiful. But then she looked to be, if you look at her photographs from then, when she was 5 and 6 years old competing,
She's like a little doll.
and she looks like a almost sophisticated teenager.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, when I say I don't like it, it's not my thing to take children and dress them up and put makeup on them and parade them. It's not that it's wrong or not wrong. It's just my opinion.
Yep.
I wouldn't want to do that with my child. To me, it's like putting them on display.
But it is.
There's lots of parents, lots of children who enjoy doing that. More to them for it.
A lot of kids like it. A lot of children like to be paraded around like this.
Well, they
like the attention.
Yeah.
Right.
They enjoy the attention, and it unfortunately it becomes a part of their life, and really unfortunately it becomes the vast majority of their lives at that time. So, oh well,
one of many tragic cold cases
it
that
is. It really
out
is.
there.
I'm sure that everybody's got their guesses as to who done it. Of course, Ramsey himself was a prime suspect, at least in the minds of. He was guilty in the minds of everybody out here for the longest time. First question, they say, well, why did he lead them on another search of the place? And then he pointed down there, did you check underneath that blanket? Or that's what was reported. Right or wrong, we don't know.
There's so much.
The number of people that went through that house all day long.
Right.
It could not have been, did not necessarily have to be anybody in the home that was in there. It could have been somebody who paraded through the home, who found the body, who knew where the body was.
Right.
You just never know. You don't know. And therefore, fingerprints would be everywhere, number one. They entertained a lot, so fingerprints were everywhere anyway. But it's a sad case, and it's a disgusting case that remains active today. And most of us will be gone before it's finally solved.
We have another cold case in Ulster County that I don't know that we've ever talked about it, but someone had posted about it not long ago, a story, and it brought it up. It was the taxi cab driver, the female taxi cab driver that was found naked in her cab, had been raped and murdered, and it's still a cold case. think it was back in the 70s.
It was after I left from here. I remember the case.
Right.
There've been a couple of weird cases. One that
What's another?
that one involved Wilmington too, because I think she picked up somebody in Wilmington or something. I don't know. It seems like it's what occurred. So it, but it ended up here. But they also found. Is that the one that the body was wrapped up? Was underneath a mattress? No, that was a different car. There was one that the body was underneath a mattress, and they had searched the car. They had done everything else, and had crime scene. SBI, I think it was. I believe it was Hans
Mike
Miller.
McHugh about that. He would remember.
Yeah, I believe it was Hans Miller at the time. Was working for the State Bureau of Investigation, and he was here, and he heard the call about the car, and so he went to process it, and he did some normal routine. Then they found somebody stuffed in a mattress later on. So I don't know. Whatever.
I have some political breaking news for you.
Okay, let's do weather first.
Oh, is it that time?
It is.
Time. If you've got, if you want to go offshore today, now's your day. This is your day. And you can stay all night if you want to. Take something warm and some hot chocolate, and then come back tomorrow before noon. So you'll come back ashore when it's still calm. Westerly winds today, 10 to 15 knots. Seas only 2 to 4 feet. They're 4 seconds apart. Sounds and rivers of moderate chop. Easterly winds 5 to 10 tomorrow, becoming southeasterly 15 to 20 by the afternoon. In the morning, you're okay. Afternoon, not so good. Seas will be only 2 to 3 feet to begin, building up to 3 to 5 in the afternoon. Sounds and rivers of light chop. It's going to get choppy in the afternoon. Southwesterly winds on Friday, 20 to 25. Absolutely not. Becoming westerly 15 to 20 in the afternoon. Gusts to 30 knots. Seas 7 to 10 feet, 5 to 8 near shore. Sounds and rivers rough. Will calm down a little bit in the afternoon.
Today is mostly sunny with a high near 60, southwest wind 3 to 8 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a low around 39, patchy fog after 3 a.m., so be careful when you get up. Thursday, a chance of afternoon showers, mostly cloudy with a high near 67. Thursday night, definitely showers with thunderstorms after 10 p.m., a low around 61. And Friday, a chance of showers in the morning, mostly sunny with a high near 65.
From our amateur radio folks there from the Oslo Amateur Radio Club, getting up bright and early. Well, it's early. It's never bright at that time of morning, this time of year. Randy out of Southwest said it was 28 degrees. He was ready to go back to bed, 93% humidity. Yeah, he did sound like, I'm up there. He said it was perfectly clear, and it was and still is perfectly clear outside. He was windless. That means there's no wind.
Right.
And there's no rain reported anywhere except at Dale's house. Then he found out that his weather machine was a little wacky. Had not reset or something. Joe down in the boroughs. A warm 33 degrees at 5:30 this morning. Then he also went back to bed. No wind. Lee out in Back Swamp, 27 degrees at that time, 92% humidity. Temperatures on the rise, no doubt. Winds about 5 miles per hour from the southwest. I think he said he was. Dale there in Riverbend, he and Carol this morning. It was 25 degrees, kind of toward the chilly side when he checked in. 88% humidity, no wind, calm. Everything was calm there. Ward at Cedar Point. He gets the cookie. We can all go down there and get a sunburn. 42 degrees, getting the water to be fine. Trust me, 88% humidity. Winds from the northwest, very light, just a light breeze. Southwest, I'm sorry, west-southwest. And Ken over in Onslow Bay, he gets precise, 27.5 degrees. I'm going to run it at 28 degrees. 83% humidity, light breeze this morning. And Lee over in the woodlands of Northwoods area, 27 degrees, 92% humidity, wind, and it was calm. Here in Country Club, 24 degrees at the studio this morning. It's now 28 degrees and humidity 99%, still remains 99%. Southwesterly to westerly winds 1 to 2 miles an hour. We've had pretty much no wind, but the breeze is locked in in the west southwest, and of course no rain. So thanks to those guys at
Rain's
Ham
coming
Radio Club.
tomorrow night.
If you guys have an interest in amateur radio and you would just like to talk about it, you can call us and talk about it anytime after the show or before. Send us an email and we'll chat, or we'll meet with you and say, hey, come in here and sit around and look. And get involved in some of the programming of some of that stuff. Lee is going to be back and she's going to be in her truck running around with an antenna going zing, zing, zing. She'll have a VHF, UHF antenna combo when it's all said and done, and she'll be able to talk to people up and down the coast. Everywhere she
If
goes.
they ever get stuck on a mountain during a hurricane, at least I
you notice
communication.
I did program the Asheville repeaters.
Yeah, I saw
and
that.
there are
You
two
did that, and
different
I was
repeaters
like,
in there just for you. So she's got a radio program. She
'Cause,
can hit repeaters.
What's
Over.
what's the vehicle? What's that you have in your vehicle for emergencies?
OnStar.
OnStar, yeah,
Oh.
OnStar does not work in a hurricane.
Mhm.
But yeah, ham radio will.
Yes, it
So
worked. So
anyway, yeah,
Political.
big news yesterday. I got a phone call yesterday and an announcement that Walter Scott has gone ahead and filed to run for commissioner again.
he just doesn't know what he's in for,
He's
does
a
he?
former commissioner.
Yeah, he's going to have to come by here and get involved with us again.
Yes. And so
Come on, Walter.
we talked for a while yesterday. And then last night, excuse me, it was late last night, Austin Ayers, he was a very outspoken candidate against Greg Murphy. He was running for the North Carolina, 3rd district seat for U.S. Congress. He was very outspoken against Dr. Murphy.
Same party or different party?
He was a Republican,
Mhm.
but then he felt like the Republican Party was not supporting him enough because everything was about Dr. Murphy. And of course, Dr. Murphy is our current congressman. And so there were some issues with that. He got upset and he changed his party. And I believe he changed it to Libertarian. But he's been very outspoken against Dr. Murphy.
Mhm.
And anyway, last night, he put out on social media that he's decided to withdraw his candidacy. And that he would be calling Dr. Murphy to apologize for a lot of misinformation that he was given about Dr. Murphy or
Oh.
things that he based his opinion on based on what other people's
So
opinion were.
Murphy is really a doctor, right? He's a real doctor, got a degree and got the thing on the wall and everything.
The whole thing about birth certificate came up because allegedly, I don't know. I've not asked the doctor because I don't care. Allegedly, he was actually born in New York, but he's made reference to being here from North Carolina. Well, yeah, you can say you're from North Carolina. You've lived here for many years. If you want to get technical, you were born. A big deal. But there was so much stuff being
Where am
said.
I from?
Wilmington, North Carolina.
Why do you think that?
Because I know you've told me that you were born there and that you live there, but I would consider you currently from Jacksonville, North
I've lived
Carolina.
most of my life in Jacksonville. Now, where
I've
am I
lived
from?
most
So where am I from? And for the last
I would say Jacksonville. That's the way I do.
and for the last 16 years, 17, 18, 19 years, I've been here permanently. Even though
Well-
I did travel for work.
I tell everybody I'm from Jacksonville, North Carolina. I was actually dropped in Kentucky. My dad had recruiter duty, so we had temporarily gone there while he had the
So you
recruiter
got a
duty.
Kentucky birth certificate.
My birth certificate says Kentucky, but we came right back.
Robbie says Camp Lejeune. She was born
Yeah.
in the Naval Hospital.
So was my brother. He was born right there
So
at Lejeune.
you're from a divided family.
Very divided. My oldest brother was born in Kentucky. My mother was born in Kentucky. My dad was born in New York.
Mm-hmm.
But I consider when people ask me where you from, I say Jacksonville, North Carolina.
Well, you
It's the only thing I've ever known.
You are. Well, I am too.
Yeah. It's just a
3.
technicality that I was dropped in Kentucky.
I left Wilmington
Yes,
the
we
first go round. My
passing
parents
through.
left Wilmington the first go round when I
Right.
was not even 4.
Right.
They did take me with them. They brought me here. So I guess I was
Right.
from here for
Mhm.
the vast majority of my life. Then,
Well, all my schooling was right here. Growing up, I was right here. everything, all my jobs right here. So,
Well, I've now worked in different places, worked
Right.
all over. So
right.
whatever.
Well, when you were talking about where you're from, and it brought me to thinking about where you're running in your district and living in that area. Now, I was told last night you do not have to live.
Not for a U.S. Congress seat.
Yeah,
In North
if-
Carolina, you have to be in North Carolina to run for any congressional seat. This
Be
is
in
from
North Carolina, but you
not-
don't have to live
not
in the
in that
district that
district.
you're
I can't run
representing.
for a seat. I can't run against AOC.
Well, Don Davis has
That's
now
the-
moved. You know, he's a Congress representative for District 1. Then they changed the districts, which knocked him out of District 1. But now
That
he
knocked
has
his home out of
moved.
District 1.
He has moved into the actual new District 1 now and has filed for District 1.
That came up when Jones
It's crazy.
was a congressman. Okay. At one time, they were redrawing the district lines,
Mhm.
and his home, Farmville, I think it is, right?
Right.
His home was going to be outside the third district. Well, I think he, being an extremely powerful congressman,
Mm-hmm.
I think he had a little bit of say in that. And did the district line not get redrawn before it
I
became
don't know,
official
but this
to
happened.
include his
This
home?
happened a couple of years ago with Greg Murphy when they redrew the lines and they took out part of Pitt County. And actually, he was not actually living in the third district at the time,
Mhm.
but continued to run and continued to service. Now, all that's changed again,
Yeah.
but it was one teeny section, just like the city of Swansboro right now has been pulled out of District 3 and is in District 1.
So now I've really
Even
got to
though
get
it's part
another
of
pass.
Onslow County.
I got to have 2 passports to get it through Swansboro now. Golly.
Well, you've got till Friday noontime to go file.
All right. So if at the last minute, if you were to pick an office, now forget that you would never do it.
Right.
Okay. If you were to pick a position here in Onslow County that's up for grabs right now,
Mm-hmm.
we got the county commissioners, we got the school board,
That's right.
we got the sheriff, we
That's
got,
right.
what else? The district attorney,
Right. Our senator. Well,
North
he's-
Carolina
yeah.
senator.
Right.
We got
House
state
representatives.
house.
Yeah, state house.
So if you lived in an area anywhere in Onslow County that is has a seat that is up for grabs right now, which seat would you like to apply for? Forget who's in it or anything else, but what position would you like to apply for?
Me, not that I'm going to do it, but
Mhm.
I would have to say commissioner because I have followed them so closely over all the
You're more
years.
familiar with that.
I'm more familiar with that.
You don't care about the children.
If no, I'll get to that in a minute. If I'm not at the meeting, which is very few and far in between, I'm watching it. I watch every meeting, most 90%. I know a lot of the commissioners. I ask them questions. We have them on the show. That is one position right there. Plus, I grew up here.
Okay.
As far as Board of Education, my personal opinion is you need to either be a parent or someone that's I haven't had a child in schools here since 1996.
Mhm.
And I just feel like it's better suited for someone that's
So you
closer
think you've
to,
aged out?
yeah, I feel aged out for, well, no, true. And in the school system, I have not followed it like I have the county. I follow the city, but not like I follow the county. The county
so
I follow.
When you say you think a parent or a grandparent or somebody like that would be better
Yes.
to have somebody in the system,
Yes.
do you not think they'd be tainted?
No,
Okay.
not necessarily. Not if you get the right person.
And you,
County
Chris?
commissioner.
county commissioner?
I've always been asked to run,
Yeah, I know.
and I think
Yeah, I
I would
couldn't
be
do
able to
district
help
attorney.
more
I knew
people.
nothing about the law. Nothing about the law.
county commissioner.
Yeah.
And I do care. and
What
I
would you
care about the
do,
children.
Rayford?
And of course, people joke, and we always throw my name around there in their heads, I think,
Mhm.
when they're probably in the bathroom. But when they say, you should do this and do that, no, why? I have really no political desire unless I can be dictator.
But that's not the question you asked us.
Yeah, if there was one, but I can't even think of what position it would be. They're so far removed from my thought processes.
Right.
I
I mean,
can't think
I would,
about-
I
can't
have
think
no
about-
desire to be,
When they had a coroner's position that was
Right.
an elected position, or they had a constable, which was an elected position,
that
believe
would
it or not,
suit you.
because both of those don't require you to be full time doing anything.
Right.
And county commissioners, they get a lot of calls.
Yes.
School board
Yeah,
members get a lot of calls.
First of all, you run for
The
elected.
sheriff, oh Lord God,
You
help
run
us.
for elected position, and there's people that are just going to tear your life apart.
Mhm.
You know, well, in fifth grade, you stole bubble gum from Bubba sitting in front of you. I
Oh,
just,
Bubba didn't need that dang bubble gum.
just
He didn't
I'm
share.
not into all that. I just
So,
rather be behind the scene.
but a coroner, your clients are
That would
generally
be
not
it.
going to be complaining.
True.
I mean, seriously. But it's a critical position. It used to
Right.
be. Then we finally got a medical examiner here, which kind of superseded all of that.
Right.
But the medical examiner does a whole lot of other stuff.
Mhm.
Coroner did not do much investigations, but there were coroner's juries.
That's a job.
Jurors.
Get called out at 3 a.m.
They would have a jury, a coroner's inquest, they called them, and they to decide if maybe this should be a homicide or maybe it's self-defense or what. In other words, the coroner could make that initial call.
Right.
Well,
And if he had questions in his own head, if it's a very controversial thing, he would impanel a coroner's inquest. I've been to several of those.
when we had the candidates that were running on the program,
Mhm.
you brought up a good point to our viewers. I think city council and county commissioners have the biggest impact on us individually,
Yes.
individually,
Absolutely.
versus some of the other positions.
Look at it this way. In Onslow County, there are 210,000 people. How many registered voters, madam? Usually 125,000. I don't know.
26,000.
So the 125,000. So you got one voice out of 126,000, 25,000, 125,000 people. You're one voice, right?
Right.
In the governor's race, there are 7 million registered voters in North Carolina, if I recall correctly, roughly. You are 1 in 7 million. Will you think your voice counts more as 1 in 7 million or 1 in 125,000?
To be exact, 7,633,658.
I'm sorry, I was slightly wrong.
You were right on it. You were on it.
And then,
You're going to have more impact on the local level.
absolutely. And besides that, you're going to be sitting up there in Raleigh,
Ooh.
one of those 1 out of 7.6 million people, and you're going to be on the legislature. Let's just say that. How many of those bills are introduced and become laws,
Stagnant.
ordinances, or whatever?
They sit in a committee.
Oh, in Raleigh, yeah.
They go there to die.
There's a very small percentage that ever see the light of day, right? That ever become reality.
Right.
So these people are wasting my money,
Mhm.
is what you're saying.
Pretty much.
Is that what you're
Well,
They're
No.
wasting my money by discussing this and not going anywhere with it. So let's just move on to Onslow County Commissioners. They introduce legislation themselves,
Mhm.
ordinances or this kind of How many of those are just sitting around doing nothing once they introduce them? The answer would be dang near none.
Yeah.
Well, I can
Because they
tell
will
you.
vote on them one way or the other. They'll
Well,
either bring them in or shut them down.
Well, yeah, on the local level, it's much easier to make decisions and stuff like that. You go to a state level and just like a federal level too, you have a senator or a House rep that said, hey, I think we need to make bubble gum illegal because it's unhealthy for you. So they introduce a bill and some will go, yeah, that's a pretty good idea. And the others are like, this man's crazy. So they throw it into the committee, but they don't just throw it out and say it's a done deal. They put it in there to revisit it later, maybe. If not, then
Pass the
That's the
buck. And
But that's the way
get
it's
it
done,
off.
Rayford. You can't do
That's
it any
the
other way.
it's done is not
You
necessarily.
can't do it any
It's not
other
what I
way.
pay for.
But what do you expect?
I'm
You
not-
expect
I
somebody to walk in
I
there?
expect somebody to do something to get, earn their pay.
They are earning
Shut
their
it
pay.
down. There should be throw this thing into a committee, and after 1 week, you say, okay, nothing is happening. We need to shut her down, throw it in the garbage. Ding. Where's the shredder? Zip.
But how do you know
Done.
that they don't do that with a lot of them?
How do I know?
The
they
only
do?
ones we know about are the ones that we talk about.
The
and we
ones
go
that
look
still
them up.
sit there and still sit there and sit there and sit there and sit there for session after session after session and go nowhere.
Look what happened with the concealed carry. It sat there for a long time because they went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
Uh-huh.
And now it finally made its way to the top.
At some point in time, it's time to either poop or get off the pot.
It's just not that easy.
Wow.
And speaking of Onslow County, we're up to
Take some
129,000.
laxatives, it will be.
We're up to 129,537 now registered voters.
I was wrong there too.
No, you were-
4,000.
You were
4,000.
absolutely just about perfect on that.
Accusations, speculation, and conspiracies we're seeing on social media and in some news reports are irresponsible, harmful, and in some cases dangerous for the safety of individuals in our community. Sounds like something that I talk about and rant about every day, right? I didn't say that. I didn't write it. I have said it, or words to that effect, but no one's really listening. The latest from Providence, Rhode Island. Brown University. That's what was written about what's going on there, and that happened just a few days ago. No one has been arrested, and today is Wednesday, following Saturday afternoon's crazy shooter on the campus who killed 2 students and wounded 9 others. Evidence? Not much. By all accounts, not a whole lot of evidence. Not very much that they're talking about. They got bodies, they got blood, they got spent 9mm cartridge casings, a couple of different videos and pictures from the area around the time of the shooting. No one has come forward to positively identify the persons in those images. No one that we know of.
Thank you.
If they had, those someones would have been snatched up and had some serious discussions with them. And I think the media, as tightly as they've been watching this, would have gotten wind of it. But nothing has stopped the posting pukes who have pointed fingers at one person, maybe more, and are really clouding the investigation as federal and local law enforcement officers look for the killer or killers. And nobody has narrowed it down to one that I know of. Social media trolls provide no help when posting opinions. They have no facts, because police are doing what they should do in this case, only releasing information like the photographs that might help them with the case. 2 dead, 9 wounded, no arrest. Bottom line. And the sheriff, the police chief up there said, accusations, speculation, and conspiracies we're seeing on social media and in some news reports are irresponsible, harmful, and in some cases dangerous for the safety of individuals in our community. What he's saying there is people have been saying that is so-and-so in that picture, and they've been posting it on Facebook.
Wow.
With no relevance whatsoever. They're posting it on Facebook. They're not calling the cops with it. They're posting their opinions on Facebook. Now, how irresponsible is that? Did he use the word irresponsible? He did. How harmful is that? He used that word too. How dangerous is that? He used that word too to that individual, because there are other idiots out there just as violent and just as mean as that 1 or 2 or more people who committed those 2 murders and 9 people that they shot, assaults. There are people out there just as dangerous that are walking among us and may not even have as much sense as that guy who could go after Lee because, that guy said that kind of looks like Lee Bowers.
They would know if it was me.
But I mean,
Right.
you would have a target on your back at that point in time
Yeah.
because there are idiots out there.
Those who post on Facebook, and they really don't even express their own opinions, they're copying somebody else's garbage
And then adding to
and
it.
then adding to it. And
Well, I told you, watching that one news channel that I watch on YouTube, and the whole thing was live the other night, and everything had just occurred and
And nobody knew anything.
nobody knew anything. But the people on the comment section, holy moly, it's just unreal. And the next day when they started putting out videos of what they suspect, the suspect or whatever, and to watch the remarks, well, he's got to be Hispanic because he's got a hand behind his back as he's walking.
Yep.
And then we went on to, well, he's got a limp on his right leg. So, well, that's probably because he's got a rifle shoved down his pants. Well, he didn't use a rifle. Of course, he could have had one with him. He used a 9mm, which they're now saying. And just goes on and on. And he's wearing a backpack underneath that jacket. Oh, and somebody needs to call the FBI and tell them I have a jacket just like that and I bought it from so-and-so. So they need to go check that store and look for receipts. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's just unreal. You just sit there, shake your head. I have to cut the comments off because some of them, I just want to make a comment, which would not be nice.
I can throw grenades and get people going, can I? Especially you guys out there, what are your thoughts about all of this? Are you one of those social media trolls that you jump in there and you have opinions and, I know we had a case here a few years ago, the little girl out there in 17 South, and people were saying they knew who did it. I know that the mother, she had to be. She had to have known what was going on. Why haven't they arrested her? Why? No. We had them saying it. We had them calling. Had them sitting right in here making comments. People, they know who did it. She had to have known. It wasn't her, you idiots. Yeah. Turned out. Well, guess what, dummies? Now you got egg on your face, and you could be sued for it.
That is something I'll never ever forget.
Well, I don't think they want to be, or I would refer to them as amateur detectives.
No.
Because you're not even that. You're speculating. You're just speculating.
You're trolls. You live underneath a bridge.
It just,
and not even a good bridge.
It just, some of the comments I have to laugh. I'm like, it's just like. Somebody needs to call the FBI and tell them there's a speck of dust on his shirt. I mean, like the FBI's not already done all this.
Now on Bubba's socialist media page, he's going to say, the FBI is looking into this speck of dust that they saw on the left shoulder of this person because he saw it somewhere else.
Well, yesterday, I watched this one YouTuber that does court reports and stuff like that. Anyway, he was interviewing a retired FBI agent who lived right down the street from the Rainers, who came out onto the scene right after it all started coming out. And she brought up an excellent point, and I just said, she's absolutely right, and it's what we've been saying. She said the LAPD did not owe anybody anything to come out and say, this is what we've got. This is who's dead. This is what we think happened. She said the LAPD is one of the finest agencies ever, and they have an excellent investigative staff. And she said you had to be there. There was news media yelling at them. We want to know this. We want to know that. She said while they're investigating a case, nobody owes you anything.
Let me explain to you guys something about, because I know what the public is entitled to, because I was in the media and I knew what the public, I'm not the media. I know what the public is entitled to, and whatever the public's entitled to, the media is entitled to. What the media is entitled to is only what the public is entitled to. Period. Bottom line. Y'all, the media they're not any special group of people. They do know where the good ones, I don't remember those days, they do know where to go and look for information. I can tell you how to look for stuff. I can tell you what I would do, how to develop a story, how to proceed with it. And the easiest thing in the world to do which is to do a background, simple, and even on victims and these really weird cases, just check the North Carolina Department of Corrections. It's public records. Check them. I would advise every reporter to do that. That's what I used to do. Sometimes 25% of the time you come up with nothing. 75% of the time you come up with something. 30% of the time that something is interesting. Most of the time it's not, to be honest with you. But you got to go down a lot of rabbit holes before you find a rabbit. They're not always at home. You got me?
Right.
Anybody out there, have either one of you been a member of a neighborhood watch group? You ever been
No.
a part of that? You
Yeah.
have.
We
I mean-
created, Kathy and I created
remember
one
when y'all did it.
in Riegelwood. We
Mhm.
started community watch, and we're head of that, and worked well with the sheriff's department
Yep.
and Crime Stoppers.
I'm part of a watch group, but that's just individual amongst us neighbors. I mean, we're like,
For quite a
Right.
few years, such groups have had varying amounts of success in their small neighborhoods. They do a good job in many cases. The better organized they are, the better off they are. Keeping an eye out for strangers or strange behavior. Well, let me go back. Looking for strangers, it'll belong here. But you look out because sometimes they're just walking through, or they may be walking their dog from their neighborhood. You look out for strangers or looking out for strange behavior. Can work and has worked many times. These people are not cops. They're not trained, though there are groups, likely groups that are going to have a cop, a retired cop, an ex-cop, or whatever in their midst. Because these people, believe it or not, cops and ex-cops and stuff like that, they live with other people.
Mhm.
They live in neighborhoods.
Yeah.
These groups sometimes walk in pairs if they're small or in small groups, especially during the evening hours, maybe just taking their dogs for a walk. Ever watchful for people that don't belong there. And maybe visitors and maybe totally legitimate, but you'd make a note of it in your head, if nothing else. And the more often you see this strange car parked along the shoulder of the road, some dude sitting there having a cigarette or whatever, the more you might want to make a note of that license tag. There's always a possibility, as I have found out, as one gentleman found out sitting down here, that he was a member of a vice unit. He had staked out one of the neighbors over here. They were doing a campaign. They got him.
Mhm.
I read about it later, and I knew it as soon as I pulled up and asked him something. You doing okay here? Because that's what I would do. Just roll the window down and say, do you need some help? You all right? No, I'm fine. I said, anything happening? No. And then I got hanky, and I said, oh, okay. He said, are you a cop or something? I said, not anymore. And he smiled, and he wasn't long. He drove away. But he was one of the guys there, and I knew what they were. I knew what he was doing, and I didn't want to bust him out, but I'm curious because I want to know who's in my neighborhood. There are 4 houses on this block, y'all. 2 of them I have a special interest in.
well, I have great neighbors
5 houses on this block.
that
Well,
have
but we
eyes in the back of their head.
A simple call to the police department can get results, if nothing else, if you see something suspicious. Some dude rings the front doorbell and nobody answers the door because they're not at home. And you see it, and that person disappears from sight because he's walking around behind the house. That's the time to call the police.
That reminds me, and I hope I saved it.
The good thing is that the police, the smart departments, will log those calls with all of the pertinent information they find at that time for this individual, because they may drive up there, the guy's coming from around behind the house, and they may question him, but they got nothing else to hold him on. But they will, because they've gotten a call, get his ID.
Yep. And
that needs to be logged. The smart police departments will have that in there where it can be searchable. Done. Got it? Just in case. In one state, some folks are actually hindering lawmen who are trying to do the jobs they're sworn to do. Oregon, of course, you say. Yep, parents and teachers alike have formed groups, watch groups, to stay alert for cops. And they warn the folks in the neighborhoods when the police come looking through those neighborhoods. Maybe these little thug support groups should charge a fee for their services, a protection fee or something. The mafia does it in New York. Those that federal agents are looking for might have enough money to pay you to protect them. They are ratting out anything that looks like a Fed that's working an area, because they notify the people that they know are possibly illegal aliens. And they're calling them. Teachers are doing it. Teachers are doing it. Parents are doing it. People who live in neighborhoods are doing it. Problem is, we have a bunch of idiots who live among us. I can't imagine a soccer mom, a teacher who should be helping her kids learn, spending their valuable time looking for federal agents who are sworn to round up illegal people. What a wonderful bunch of idiots living here, not only condoning, but protecting illegal activity. It should be a case of snatching those people who protect the illegals, keep them locked away so the ICE agents won't be hurt by those illegals who get warned in advance. There are people who have done that when they see the narcotics cops coming. They know who they are because they're also bad people. But they see the narcs coming and moving into a location, getting ready to make a bust. And, they call and warn people about it. Did you know that? That happens.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They warned them. How dangerous is that putting those drug agents in, those drug cops in? How dangerous is it for them, not to mention interfering with their investigation? At some point in time, these people are going to do something that's going to get somebody really hurt really badly.
Right.
It's almost like the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, and they're ugly
Yeah.
because they're certainly the good.
No, they're not the good.
Well, moving on to scams, because that brings all that up. The sheriff's office is putting out a warning right now on the latest scam when someone is going around trying to serve fictitious warrants on people.
Please, come and sit down.
A person pretending to represent the sheriff's office will inform the citizen they have a warrant for their arrest and demand they pay a large sum of money to alleviate the situation. Receiving a call or a message from scammers claiming you have a warrant for your arrest and must pay money immediately is a common form of fraud known as the arrest warrant scam. So they've had that.
Folks, why don't you come in here on the show while we're in here and try to do that for all three of us? Tell us. We got some money among the three of us. We got, $15-20 on us.
Well, currently in
Will you sell
Richlands
the
right
cash?
now, I had a lady post yesterday in the Catherine's Lake area. She posted by name and everything and pictures. Do you recognize this man or has anybody seen him in the Catherine Lake area? And she's got on her video camera this man walking up to her door with a piece of paper in his hand, taking pictures of her
Oh,
house.
really?
Going and he went through her mailbox and there's other people that said they have seen this man. They think it's the same man checking people's mailboxes, taking pictures of their houses, never talking to anybody or actually somebody talking to them. So I don't know what's going on in the Catherine Lake area, but and she's reported this to the sheriff's office, which is first thing you should do.
I used to have,
Sounds like
because
another
when I was not
scam.
at home in Wilmington and I was getting packages a lot
Right.
on my porch up there, because this was the day before Porch Pirates.
Right.
And I had a big old cooler up there because that protects it from the environment. Because
Right.
I was getting pictures coming in all the time, right, from a lab where I would send stuff to. The guys knew it. UPS was the primary service provider at that time for the photos. They'd open it up, they'd drop them in there and be done with it. That's all. Can you imagine if that was going on today and I put one of those boxes up there and I would wire that box.
Have you seen the videos that are everywhere
buddy.
of these people putting these like
Rewrapping
powder
Amazon.
bombs in there? They're
Glitter bomb.
colored.
They call it glitter bombs.
And that when the person steals the package and as they're walking away, the box explodes and covers them with like green powder.
Which is fun to wait till they get home to open that
Well,
box
what's funny is they show some of those videos where the
with a tracking
people
device on it.
have called the cops to come out and say, yeah, he put a bomb in there and look what it did to me. And the cop said, well, let me get this straight. You went up on their porch, you stole their package.
But the thought came through my mind. Take an old piece of junk gun that somebody, would steal anyway, because they'll steal anything that can go boom, right? And just put that in a little box out there on the front porch and plug the barrel.
What?
Oh,
Deep inside the barrel.
Yeah.
Melt some lead and put down in there.
I know where you're going.
And when they put a bullet in there and pull the trigger, oh, you'll find them at the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
We're
Being
talking about
treated.
scams. Talking about
Y'all don't ever
scams.
want to mess with me. You understand, right? I came from the world. I wrote most of these drugs.
Talking about
Bomb
scams, we
tricks.
had one hit very close to home here in Pender County. The government in Pender County got scammed.
Who did that?
On December 16th, Pender County released a statement that around $650,000 had been stolen from the county in an impersonation scheme carried by an outside party. According to the release, the fraud was discovered.
650,000.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. It all came to
That's a half of a new boat for me.
Well, the county was notified by a vendor that multiple invoice payments had not been received. They sent them invoices that county had not paid. Further investigation revealed that in September, an outside party impersonating the vendor successfully requested a change to the banking details used for the electronic funds transfer. In other words, here's your invoice and the county's going to transfer through, electronic funds. According to the release, the county is now undergoing a manual audit of all other banking information change requests.
That's just the tip of the iceberg.
No customer or resident information was released or involved in this. And now Pender County is now working with local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies on the issue. And every effort is being made to recover the funds. Good luck with that. 650,000. And look, the scam artists would still be collecting them if it hadn't been for the actual real vendor contacting the county and saying, you haven't been paying me.
And that's taxpayer money, right?
650,000.
Yeah. Taxpayer money.
I'll bet their next commissioner meeting is going to be packed.
Wonder what the tax rate's going to have to be in that county to pay for that. No, because they got to pay. They can still pay the vendor. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they still have to go back. So actually, that 650,000 now has cost them double.
It's 1.3 million.
Yeah.
Oh. God
Uh-oh.
bless them. Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I don't think I'm going to be well enough to be at the meeting.
I'll be like, I got to sit this one out, Chairman. And don't forget, the president's got an address to the nation tonight.
Good luck.
Let's see if he's going to apologize for some of his words lately.
No.
Goodness gracious.
Well, he's going to be all alone, I'm sure. I've got a feeling he's just not going to get a whole lot of people willing to stand behind him anymore for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would. I'd be conveniently absent. I got, Mr. President, I'm just not feeling well. I got diarrhea.
Well,
Best excuse in the world because nobody ever questions you.
I wish good luck and well wishes to the person that's writing his speech for tonight.
It wouldn't matter. He's going to change it.
He'll go off script.
Oh.
He'll go off script. It's just something
The best
else.
thing he could do would have if he could find a Mother Teresa somewhere and write something for me and read it and record it.
Well,
And
here's
let nothing be said except what was played back as though it were live, they call it.
Well, we finally have someone send us a doctor from Florida that got sentenced for his scam operation in North Carolina after Hurricane Helene.
Operation, did you say?
Yeah.
Did he do a surgery here?
No. A Florida doctor posing as a Helene disaster relief volunteer has pled guilty to stealing supplies intended for storm victims. Mark Anthony Smith took camping stoves, sleeping bags, heaters, propane tanks, and generators, then sold them to pawn shops for a profit. He lives in, we talked about this case way back, but he lives in, he's from Jacksonville,
What kind of
Florida.
doctor is he?
I don't know. I gotta find that out.
It
Pled
must not
guilty
have
to
a-
5 counts of felony larceny.
He must not have a good doctor's practice.
Oh, well, listen to this. His sentence includes time already served in jail plus 85 months suspended consecutively. He must also report the felony convictions to the appropriate state medical licensing board as required by law. All right. Well, let's look at
Goodbye,
what a doctor
license.
is.
Yeah.
But you know what?
I have to do it once.
he needs to get himself a pawn shop.
Scum. This is in
Swannanoa.
Swannanoa, in the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, and he was portraying himself to be a nonprofit organization, and he stole over $12,000 in.
You know,
donated.
folks, really, seriously, a doctor
Seriously?
with $12,000. He must have been a really crappy doctor, bad businessman. Anytime it's unfortunate, but when people come to my door,
Mark,
doing
the
whatever,
Smiths.
I don't care. I'm going to ask them for ID.
Probably a chiropractor.
I'm just not comfortable with people soliciting for anything, period, bottom line. I could get me a pad and, a few magazines, current magazines, and go around and sell you subscriptions, right?
Yeah.
But
You want
it,
to pay for this on a credit card, it'll be fine to come and give it to me.
it takes a person with, low life.
That's it.
Yeah,
You
man.
just said it. Love life.
Okay, we'll be back tomorrow, maybe.
I'm-
What's
I'm-
tomorrow? Who we got? We got nobody? What's going on here? Oh, that's nobody. That's somebody.
Oh, that's somebody.
That's somebody.
He's a primary care provider specializing in emergency medicine and family medicine.
They got no
Not anymore.
emergencies or families down that way?
And he's been involved in many legal issues, including pleading guilty, of course, to that. And it says has been reported to be accepting health plans from various insurance companies.
Go figure. Are
Well,
you surprised?
piece of dirt. Piece of dirt.
Dirt is a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Scum.
He's a piece of
Scum.
something, but it ain't dirt.
Should be still in jail.
He's got it. You're slow. You're live and local Real Talk, where we are been alive today because I got some sleep last night.
Very good.
We're alive, we're awake, and we're never woke. See you in the morning.
Have a blessed day.
Bye.